All right, welcome. Special Sunday night edition of The Ordinary American. I couldn't help myself. I love these Sunday nights or these weekend editions. We're going to do 15 quick minutes on my favorite topic, how Donald Trump is smarter than everybody else. Well, everybody else wants to kick the poop out of him, call him a dummy, and he has no plan. Oh, he's got a plan. As I've said many times on the show, he wrote it down. It's called the National Security Strategy, and it's on the White House website. It has been there since November. And in it, he talks about reindustrializing America and how America has been deindustrialized. And he goes through basically a strong economy is how you have better and stronger foreign relations. Way oversimplified. I've been through it in the past. You can look at the other episodes. Why is that important? Look what's happening in Iran tonight and today. No, it didn't work out in terms of getting a peace deal. But as it turns out, that works for us. Let's go back. What Trump has been doing is he's been dismantling the globalist City of London crowd neocon plan, which requires chaos and conflict all over the world. Through that chaos and conflict, they make fees. They charge insurance, Lloyd's of London. We'll come back to that. Banking fees, and they funnel it all around for themselves, taking the misery that's created by other people, largely in the Middle East, but other places, and getting rich off of it. Okay? The Iran terrorism tax, the ITT, the estimate is between $5 and $15 a barrel on every barrel of oil around the world over the last 40 years. Trillions of fees. It's always wealth extraction. They like conflict. They need conflict. It's like that great Jackson Browne song, "We Love the Thunder." They love the thunder. Well, Donald Trump is trying to bring actual peace, and he's dismantling that setup. How? Iran has been the focus of the globalists and the petrodollar crew, City of London, for a long time. They make a ton of money. Okay? So Trump says 40 years ago, we got to get rid of the nukes or Iran can never get nukes. Obviously, every president has said it. No one's done anything about it. Why? They didn't want to do anything about it. If they wanted to do something, they would have. They either didn't have the political will or they were just lying, which is probably the case, to get people to go along with it or to vote for them. Even Hillary Clinton, there's a great clip, I think it's Mays Moore, who's got it, of her saying in the 2016 election, hey, I'm going to bomb the crap out of Iran. All right, so what happened? JD goes over there. They get a tentative ceasefire. JD and crew go over there. Trump sets them up for success, says we're going to bomb the heck out of them if they don't get on the board with this thing. What's he got? He's got the entire Middle East aligned with Israel. He's got Pakistan in there. He's even got China calling Iran on our behalf because China needs the oil out of the Straits of Hormuz. Now, who doesn't need the oil out of the Straits of Hormuz? Can't say that on a Sunday night. Hormuz. Who doesn't need it? Oh, we don't. Why? Drill, baby, drill. From Trump 1. He's smarter. Okay? While Europe and the lefties here and the Obama crowd, as he's buying 2 oceanfront properties, but tricking all the Democrat voters to, oh, the sun monster's coming. We got to do windmills and we got to stop with the oil and the gas. Trump said, drill, baby, drill. And because he did, we don't need to get much oil from there. What's happening now? Oh, who has oil when the straits are closed? America. So now, American exports of oil and gas are exploding, and there are dozens of oil tankers from around the world coming to America to get oil and gas. Thumbs up. No, it does not fix the price at the pump. I saw today where I'm living almost $4. Not good. But it's a hedge. That's an enormous amount of money pumping through our refineries and through our pipelines. There's a lot of jobs. There's a lot of money and profit for businesses. This is good for us. It almost feels like Trump did this on purpose. It almost feels like, he just wanted the ceasefire not to work. the idiot Iranians who can't realistically build a nuclear weapon at this point, who, at least from what Trump tells us, and he tells us on Truth, they had pretty much everything negotiated except Iran wants to do a nuclear weapon again. I mean, who's in charge over there? What's the return on investment on pushing that issue? Now what's Trump done? He's blockading all of the Iranian ports. The US Navy is now in control of the Straits of Hormuz. Doesn't look like the Iranians are going to be able to do anything. He's already said, we will provide the insurance, cut out Lloyd's of London, who said they couldn't or wouldn't. And now oil is coming from America. He's going to strangle the Iranians even more economically. They're never going to get the nuke anyways. So what were they fighting for? I have no idea. Bad guidance. And now it's very likely that the Chinese, who really need the oil through the Straits, I think if I read correctly, 45% of their energy supply comes from the Middle East through the Straits. So now they're on Team Trump. They want us to make sure that the mines are gone and that everything can get through, because that's how they're going to get oil. I mean, I don't, who do I know? I don't know anybody. I'm an ordinary American. I got a great flag. I love my God, my family, and my country. So I don't know anybody. But it would not surprise me to find out that Trump does an oil and gas deal with China. He likes commerce over conflict. And while the Europeans did their windmills, now they are doing a $750 billion deal with America, buying our oil. They could have had their own. Germany took down all their nukes and all their fossil fuel plants. You got to give France some credit on the energy front. They've been a nuke country for a long time, and they kept with it, so they're better off than everybody else. They make great pastries, and they got nukes. Pretty smart. So from this ordinary American's point of view, it really looks like what Trump did was outsmart everybody. He's got the entire Middle East working together against Iran. Iran is done. I mean, I don't know who's in charge. It's probably more likely than not that they're killing each other a little bit right now to sort of fight for the top spot. But he's going to economically strangle them now. He's got their oil and gas off of the grid, and Venezuela is now with us, their oil and gas, our oil and gas. The world needs energy. I mean, it's hard for me not to say he's smarter than everybody else. What's going to happen from here? I don't know. Will they keep on launching their rockets in other places? I hope not, but probably. Will it require a little bit more military, oomph to probably put it to bed? Maybe. Or somebody's going to kill somebody over there on the Iranian side, and Trump's going to get a phone call that says, okay, we won't do nukes. And as I said last week, to me, the right political move by these guys over there is accept the Trump deal. Don't give him an excuse to do this. Now, I'm an American, so I want this to happen. But those guys are insane. So, Trump's smarter. He's got oil and gas exports exploding. If you look there's all over social media these maps that supposedly show these all the tankers going to America to load up. Now, last thing. I don't know if this is true. I've not been able to verify it, so all kinds of caveats with this. But I read somewhere that the Saudis really didn't want the ceasefire. They really want to put a total end, a military end to the Iranian regime. And that to induce America to do that, they offered a huge economic package. Now, that is a Trump-ish situation. I don't know if it's true. We'll find out. If it's true, that's just like the whipped cream on top of the sundae. And it's a lot of whipped cream. If I read it right, it was a $100 billion payment to the U.S. for us removing the Iranians. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just an ordinary American. I don't have any cool contacts in government. I'm just reading stuff, just digesting it. All right, so I wanted to get on tonight and just go over this because I think it's great and exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the markets tomorrow. I think that the Iranians have no choice. If the American Navy is going into the Straits, they're pretty sure that there isn't going to be too much trouble. They're going to escort people through. They're blockading all the Iranian ports. Meanwhile, all the American oil and gas is being sold. By the way, here's another thing that people discount. All of those deals, there are certainly probably one-offs, like, several tankers or something at a time. But probably more likely, most of those deals are deals that involve other things, because we want other things. We want investment in our country. We want access to markets, etc. So it's highly likely that what Trump has done when he's developing these new relationships, we talked about this last week, like with Japan, they're investing in our nuclear energy industry. Like Europe, some of the tariffs were going away, so our goods could go over to Europe. There's going to be those kinds of deals, and they're likely to be longer than just right now. I don't know if that's 5 years. I don't know if it's 10 years. I don't know if it's 1 year. But they're likely to have a tail. So I think it's extremely exciting. It highlights that while everybody keeps on saying Trump's a dope, I mean, you'd think that since 2015, when everybody said he can't win, and every step along the way was going to be the thing. We got him now. I always refer to that. I remember early on it was like Jeb Bush raised $150 million and he's going to get Trump out. Everybody underestimates this guy. Everybody bets against, not everybody, but a lot of the lefties and others bet against him. As you know, The Ordinary American, the show, is geared towards anti-leftism and not having people vote for Democrats anymore. If you are still voting for Democrats, you have to relieve yourself of this TDS stuff. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I've always thought this James Carville stuff was a show, but he certainly looks like Gollum and certainly looks like he is having some kind of a implosion mentally. But you don't have to fall for that stuff. All of the stuff they've said about Trump are lies. Just ask yourself a question. What if it weren't true? Whatever story they tell you. What if he isn't a racist? What if he didn't work with Russia, which he didn't, and he's not a racist? Everything that they say, what if it weren't true? Just do that math. All right. We're going to see you here tomorrow at 2. Like, follow, subscribe, make some good comments. Send in requests if you got any requests for the short 15-minute weekend edition that we tried to do now. I guess it's 3 weeks in a row. 2 o'clock, Monday through Friday, Rumble and YouTube. Trump is smarter than everybody. America is winning. We are re-industrializing America. I've mentioned it before. We got Nissan, we got Hyundai, $26 billion invested over 2 years, 25,000 jobs. We got the Japanese nuclear money coming. We got what was like $10 trillion coming in. Things are looking up.